What's up, nerds? Welcome back to my quarter life crisis. Today we're going to be continuing on with our Romeo and Juliet CAS challenge by creating the rest of the new Money Capulet family. Now, if you have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about, go watch part one so you can be in on this conspiracy. For the rest of you, here's a quick refresher of the challenge that we need to complete today. First off, we have the family involved in some sort of criminality activity. We also have them involved in tech-related careers. The family culture is described as outgoing, materialistic, and vain. Juliet has a younger sibling described as a popular social butterfly, and the family has an affinity to water. Now, last time I went very in depth about creating our Juliet because she's the main character. I had a lot of enthusiasm, spent a lot of time on her. But today we just want to speed through the rest of this shit, okay? The rest of them, background characters. They don't need all the pomp and circumstance. So I've got the raw footage here, edited at 8 times speed. I'm gonna watch it with you, and we're just gonna see how much I can ramble about my process in the time I've allotted myself. Ready, set, play. Okay, so first up here, I went ahead and changed the phenotype because I want Lucrezia to be our Lord Capulet. So Lucrezia is the mother, but also Lord Capulet. What the fuck does that mean? That means she is the one adhering to the role of Lord Capulet that we have in the play. So in the play, Lord Capulet is all like, "You gotta marry this bro," and Juliet's like, "No," and then like offs herself. Here, Lucrezia is going to be playing that role. Why? Well, she is going to be our criminal mastermind. So, obviously, Romeo and Juliet is Italian. Then we pull in criminal. What is a basic bitch to do? But immediately think of the mafia. But not just any mafia. No, 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 no. We are techies, remember? So she is running a dark web criminal mastermind empire. So for her style, I want new money and I want power, okay? I want her to be the baddest bitch you ever damn seen, but also like mommy, you know? So she is everyone, she is the hot mom. She's the hot mom who's also a criminal mastermind, who's also a hacker and runs. She's a mafia queen. All right, so very sleek, lots of black. You'll see, and I think I managed to give her some sort of pantsuit in like 3 different outfits. Um, that was the style I really wanted to convey with her. So I knew for her main outfit it had to be a pantsuit. And by the way, and if you think these names are aggressively Italian, on this channel we have a rule, and that is when in doubt, ask the AI overlords. So I asked the AI to give Lady and Lord Capulet and Montague names, and this was on the suggested list, and I like the name Lucrezia, so that's what I ended up with. Who are we to argue with our AI overlords? Okay, they will rule us all one day. Be it not me to argue with them. So formal look, another pantsuit. I warned y'all, there's a lot of pantsuit going on here. Also in her wardrobe, stuck with like lots of like chunky necklaces, really expensive jewelry. She is styling and profiling, okay? One thing I did do to make this process speed up is I used that apply all. So I gave her a makeup look, applied all. I don't know how y'all like lived your life without this button. It is such a game changer for me. um, Even like when I'm scrolling, like if I find something that I want in another outfit, I'll just save it to that outfit category real quick. I use it religiously for so many things. Oh, pulling into the masquerade look. I think that dress is so like Mother of the Bride coded for me for some reason. Like that gothic belt, yet really like stylish. Love it. And the pulled back hair, amazing. Now, I did give her 2 athletic fits. Most of these other characters only get 1 for category, right? We're just filling up the background characters. But as far as athletic goes, we talk about rich people athletics. We're thinking obviously polo, golf, tennis. But as far as new money athletics, skiing all the way, snowboarding all the way. The, like skiing and snowboarding is such a like software developer bro coded thing. Like I don't ask me how I know. I just know that. Okay, so I definitely wanted to give her a ski outfit. I don't know if I give the rest of the family ski outfits. I really should. I think it'd be so cute. We could have them go on a family vacation to one of the ski resorts. So keep that in my back pocket as a food for thought. Um, but definitely needed that. Let's see. So yes, Mafia. Oh, the other reason she's going to be our Lord Capulet is in the play, the Lord Capulet is the one pushing Juliet for that marriage, right? And as a Mafia queen, okay, let me back up. New money, Capulet household, they're all sciency. So like she is sciency with tech. We'll see the husband is sciency with fitness. The little sister is going to be a doctor. Everyone is a Foxbury grad, right? They all go to Foxbury, and Foxbury is the science campus. However, you'll notice if you remember, Julia is actually the odd one out here. She is pursuing a music career, a very creative career, which makes her kind of the black sheep of the family in that sort of sense. Now, her parents are supportive and they support her going off and doing her thing, but it's still like that's not really what her family's about, and especially because without learning like the tech and stuff, that means she can't take over the family business, right? So I have this idea that her mother is like, I supported your dreams. I'm letting you go out and do your own thing, but I need you to marry this mafia prince for the sake of the family. Like I have let you do your own thing on so many different levels. This is like the one thing I'm asking for. You don't even have to take over the whole situation here. I just want you just need to do this like one thing. Why can't you just like come on? And Juliet's like, please no, please, I would really like to do that or not do that. I would really like to not do that, please, thanks. And the mother's like, what's wrong with him? He's hot, he's rich. Like I don't see the problem. Like what? This is the best you could ask for. Did you forget that we are a criminal family? Like, come on. So I imagine that being like a major tension, and that's kind of why she's our quote unquote Lord Capulet here. So finishing up her look, and we are on to the husband. Now, really had to pull in as the Lady Capulet, in the plays, the women have no personality in old plays. Like we even today, they have the problem of like female characters not being all that we want them to be with all the agency we want. So I had to pull from the Sid Back headcanons really with this character. And I really wanted to pull in the family culture of the vain and materialistic kind of side. So he is a famous athlete. So he got a fitness degree. I have a mod that like that is an actual degree that I can give him. So awesome. He's a famous athlete with a fitness degree. And that really adds to the family culture of being fit. A lot of pretty, blah, 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 blah. A lot of God, can I say a word? Pretty privilege. A lot of pretty privilege, fit bro aesthetic, right? He's a bro, he's ambitious, he's active. So he's definitely like the gym bro, and I love the idea of him being like the golden retriever trophy husband to our mafia queen here. So he's the famous athlete trophy husband. It's amazing. We got new money, new gender roles today, baby. And also I tried my best. I literally for his style, I was like, fine brain Nam looking stuff and make sure it's athletic. That's it. That's the only ideas I had because male fashion is so hard. I feel like it never changes. And then like CC creators, we have such a lack of male CC. A lot of what he's wearing actually comes from KK Sims, so shout out to them. Without them, none of my male Sims wouldn't be possible. Like there's so much I had to pull from them. Moving on the masquerade look, I went and found a historical suit, paired it with that crazy looking thing. Guys, I'm so excited for the masquerade ball of the gameplay. I think it's gonna be so much fun. I wish there was a mod where I could like force them to like not recognize each other because like they're gonna have masks on, but they're like the way Sims work is like they know who they're talking to, but oh well. And I gave him more red. Like I am sticking to color palettes here. And speaking of color palettes, I really branched out for Fiorella. Like oh my gosh, that name. She's so cute. She is definitely like my second main sim that I've created because she is so adorable. And she is a teen, by the way, so I went a little more conservative on her looks because, dude, aging from when the time you turn 18 to the time you get to like your mid 20s, the amount of mental development that happens between there, like people even 2 years younger than me, I'm looking at them, I'm like, you are an actual child. You are an infant. You are And so I definitely like knowing that I think in the gameplay challenge I'm gonna age her up. So she's definitely like 18 going on 19 kind of vibe. Like I want her to start attending Foxbury during my gameplay. But even then, I was like, must be child appropriate. I cannot. Oh, and this top, I thought this top was so cute because she's supposed to be the social butterfly um, sim. So, of course, I gave her the butterfly top. I thought that was so cute. Her room is also very pink. So, that's a lot of why I pulled in a lot of pink for her closet. And, oh, and and that's her role in the Sidmac headcanons. But as far as what role does she cover in the play? Well, she's nurse, the nurse character. So in the play, Juliet has a nurse. Now she's a younger sibling, so she can't be a nurse to Juliet, but Science Foxberry family, she can be a medical student. So she is an aspiring nurse, and that, also puts her in the science category, also puts her as not taking over the criminal empire. So there is going to be someone taking over it. Stay tuned. But I decided to go with that in green to match her eyes, and I think in The Sims you'll notice like the science career is really involved in like gardening, and so I think the medical career too. Like there's a lot of gardening is kind of like wrapped up in science as far as Sims gameplay related. So I think she is going to be a plant girly as well. So that was the other reason I kind of went with green and pink. For a lot of her looks, I think those are the same shorts I gave Juliet. Part of me is like, they can't have the same shoes or they can't have the same clothes. One of us is gonna have to change. It's like they're too rich for that, right? But also they're so cute, so why would I change it? I love all of her looks. I love them so much. Let's see. I think is that her formal wear? Yeah. She did get a couple of everyday wears. The more I like a sim, the more I spend time making them. So obviously, I am like part of the challenge. There are parts of it where I'll focus on different sims, and so there definitely will be part of the challenge I'll be focusing on her. So I did give her just a couple extra because I actually look forward to playing this sim. I think it's gonna be really fun, especially because like I'm not a social butterfly, so it would be interesting to like play a social butterfly sim, right? Like she's gonna be one of the active ones, and yeah, I look forward to that. Let's see, where are we? Her sleepwear. I think I gave her just really something big and comfy because again, I was like, you need to cover up child, actual infant. Cover yourself. So I think she ended up in just like sweats. Oh, and now did I give her that limit? No. I can't wait to show you guys her masquerade look. Another amazing dress piece. I think both of the ones I ended up with are actually like you have to get the ones I'm using is like a recolor of an existing dress. So like the existing dress is great, but then someone took them and like made recolors that are even more like historical and detailed, and that just really took all of the masquerade looks over the edge. For her style overall, I kind of went with basic white girl looks I've never afforded or wanted to wear, but are popular, therefore I'm not. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but like, I've never been a fashion girly. Okay, so like, there's just things that I like. My style is probably a little bit more alt. Like, I probably am way more in the Juliet side of things as far as fashion goes. So I'm definitely not one following trends, but that doesn't mean you don't like see the trends what they are. Like when uh gosh, what was one when I was younger? When leggings became really popular to put under a long shirt, okay, like when that was like a big thing. Like you acknowledge everyone else around you that's doing that is popular and cool because they're on the trends, even if you don't care or don't like them personally, right? So I kind of tried to emulate that with her, just any trend that I had missed out on and gave it to her. Just very basic white girl trendy situation. I definitely imagine her as very, very in tune with being popular, very in tune with the trends, and like basically a complete opposite of me, to be honest. What else here? Are we on hot weather? Yes, we are. And speaking of aging her up, there are some of those looks like that I loved that belt combo with the low cut, but I was like, oh no, she's a teen, I can't. So I think it's depending on how long the gameplay challenge goes on, I may end up changing up some of her looks to be a little bit older as we get into it. Oh yeah, puffy coat, that's another one that I think was like a big trend for a hot minute. The fluffy like UGG type boots. I would never be caught dead wearing them, but you know, that's a very popular white girl thing. And Newsbook, that was popular at some point in the 2000s, right? Right? Oh boy, this is really just revealing like how untrendy I am. But moving on. So this is Brienne, and if you'll remember, the only reason she exists is so I could use the Sims genetics. So I can't directly create a nephew out of the main Sim that I'm basing it off of. So I made a sister. This is Lord Capulet's, again, Lucrezia Capulet's sister. So Juliet's aunt. And I just wanted her to not look like a randomly generated townie. I didn't want to spend a lot of time on her. So you see me, I'm using styled looks here, which was such a like time saver. And I wish you could add your own saved looks, especially since I have so much CC. If I could save some like basic looks so I could like revamp townies and such when needed. Like I almost always, if a random townie becomes like a best friend of my Sims or like becomes involved in my storyline somehow, you gotta go in and give them a makeover, right? Like you just can't. You can't let them walk around looking like that. It bothers me so intensely. Okay, so this is why she exists. She exists for this character here, whose name is Tyrone. So instead of Tybalt, because no sim should have that fate, I wanted to come up with another TY name. And my brain immediately was like, Tyrone. Don't know why that was the first one that came up, it just was. And I knew immediately ain't no white boy walking around with the name Tyrone. Now, obviously, the Capulets are white, so we're just going to go on the assumption his dad is black, and that is why he looks different than if you saw me generate him in the first part. Gave him black hair and a darker skin tone to go with the lore here. Of course, later I realized there's the perfectly white boy named Tyler that actually starts with TY, but I just don't feel like there's any reason to avoid having a diverse cast. You know, we support DEI initiatives on this channel, okay? We're not Target. So, as far as his fashion looks go, I didn't. I, again, male fashion is hard, so I didn't really have any guiding principle other than a little bit more like flamboyant, a little more alt, a little more bohemian, a little more comfortable being stylish and out there rather than very like manosphere coded, you know? Dad was already like an athletic bro, so I really wanted a little bit more forward thinking. I personally am attracted to people that dress well in the little flamboyant sense, like you don't have to be gay to be a little forward thinking with your fashion, and I think it's attractive for someone to know that, to be secure in your gender no matter what you wear and know that that doesn't define your gender. You know what I mean? Yeah, I kind of just played loose with it. I really like these paranormal pants, for example, and pairing it with that cardigan jacket. Like he'd be looking good. Okay, I think Tyrone looks amazing here. And he's also, by the way, going to be the one taking over the Mafia Empire. So Juliet was like, nah, I want to do my music career. Fiorella was like, I really want to be a nurse. Luckily, Tyrone is actually going to be a bit of a tech bro. A little bit of a tech bro, which now that I think of, maybe I should have worn a little more alt for that. But yeah, he is studying tech and he is going to be next Capulet Mafia King. So moving on here, I made spoiler alert, made dad and sister mermaids because out of all the headcanons, I realized the one that I didn't justify was the affinity to water. And what else is an affinity to water in The Sims but being a mermaid? Duh. So I made dad the mermaid since he's like the fitness athlete. It's like, of course he's a fitness athlete. He's an otherworldly being. Duh. And I didn't want to play Juliet as a mermaid just because that's not the focus of the gameplay challenge. Like, I feel like that would add on a whole nother layer of complexity. So I made Fiorella a mermaid as well. And to keep with her color scheme, I went black for the dad to be a little bit more like mermaids are definitely like pretty boy men to me. Like he's just automatically pretty boy. But the dad isn't really pretty boy coded, so I was like, okay, I'll give him like an ultra masculine color to try and balance these two things out. But Fiorella had green, so That's what. Oh, and it looks like I need to stop rambling now. Final montage! Now, this montage took me forever. Unfortunately, I've been dealing with a lot of technical difficulties and power outages, plus posting Sims like this is really just a labor of love to begin with. So if you enjoy watching, please make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps small-time creators like me. As always, I love to hear your guys' thoughts. Tell me which character was your favorite and what kind of gameplay do you want to see with them in the future. Next week, I will be back with the final part of this CAS creation series with the old money-inspired Montague household. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on that. Fortunately, that one will just be one video because there's actually more males in that family, and I mean, come on guys, we know how CAS creation goes. Males are harder, but not as time-consuming. So, with that said, bye for now. I'll see you next time. Bye!